Hi everyone. I was looking at one of my scrap drawers and found that it was a complete and total mess, which isn't surprising for me because I've got a drawer right next to me, and anytime I have scraps that look anything like this stuff, they're usually little bits and pieces, and I want to keep them because I say to myself, I can use that somewhere, and you guys know I do that. Problem is I just don't do it enough. So what I thought I would just do today is go through some of this stuff and just get it glued down onto something. I'm tired of this kind of mess hanging around. You guys know what I mean. You have the same stuff, I'm sure. You have the same little bits of crumpled napkins. These are all napkins over here on this side. This is tissue paper, scraps. And right here in front of me, these are deli paper, painted deli paper scraps. And they're all so flimsy and thin, so they end up getting knotted and beat up basically in a drawer full of scraps. And so I want to try to get a handle on that and hopefully keep a handle on that because it does get out of hand, and it makes the whole, going through your scraps kind of a mess. When it's a mess, it makes going through your scraps not as much fun, and because you can't find things because you've got all these long stringy pieces. Like this is really long, stringy piece. So I figure if I can get some of this glued down, they will be in a more usable state, and so that's what I thought I'd do. So I'm going to make maybe some backgrounds for Rolodex cards, and I might just glue some of the stuff to just plain old printer paper scraps, just to go ahead and get them on a flat surface. And also it will give them the white background that so many of them need, because if you glue things often to a darker background, of course the tissue paper is going to show up darker, so it's kind of nice to have it glued down to white. And that's a nice thin collage piece too when it's on printer paper. And then I've got my one of my shipping paper signatures. I thought I might glue some stuff to one of these brown pages. I've got a bunch of these burlap tissue strips, and I thought I would glue a bunch of those and maybe mix that with some of these napkin bits and just kind of make a solid pattern on the back of one of these pages, and that'll give me a nice little starting place to make like a vintage page or something like that. So, and I know they're going to be dark on this dark paper, but I don't mind in this case because if it's kind of grungy and a little on the dingier side, it's okay because it will probably end up being a vintage style page. So anyway, I'm not going to really talk through this one. I'm just going to be gluing stuff. I've just figured you might like to watch what I'm doing so that you can maybe clean up an area of your scraps that is causing you a problem too. So I'm going to just start gluing. So out of all the scraps that I used, and I didn't use them all, I'm sure there'll be another opportunity like this one to just use up a bunch, but I decided to stop. And I did get this one page in my shipping paper signature. This is the one that I was putting a lot of my morsel mashup pages in a couple years back. And I've only got a couple of pages left to fill up in here. So I went ahead and used one of them for this background, and I'll put something fun on this page. I thought it kind of worked out well with the brown tree on the facing page, so I'm not sure what I'll do there yet, but I've got a little bit more in here, and then that's it. So then this one will be filled. So I got one background on an art journal page. I got several pieces of like collage paper now that are tissue papers with a white backing. So that's what all of these are. And they're just fun. They'll be fun to have when I need a particular color to fill up, like possibly a Rolodex card, possibly use on a collage page in an art journal. So I have all of these, and then I had this one circle that was a painted piece of deli paper. So I went ahead and slapped that down. It's got some text in it also, so it's kind of a cool little painty bit that I thought would be fun on a journal page. And then I got a handful of Rolodex cards. So I'm tickled to have this many cards in progress already now, and I'll just be looking for some fun things to add to them. Some of them are, in my mind, almost done. Like, I love this one. It seems to already have a focal point of the butterfly, and then maybe just put a quote or something over here. So I love that one. I love them all, actually, and I'm excited to be able to use some of those scraps to be able to continue with working on my Rolodex cards. So I'm going to lay them out and let you see what they look like a little closer. So there's the one I was mentioning about with the butterfly, and then this one. This one was also a piece of painted deli paper. Okay, this was napkin bits. And this one I added a piece of book text first, and then a deli paper, a painted deli paper, and then added a few more bits. This was a piece of napkin, and these dots you saw were on tissue paper. Actually, this napkin is the same piece from here. It's just a little edge, piece, and rather than throw it out, I decided to just glue it onto this card that had some of the same colors. So that worked out great. Okay, and then we have this one with a pretty napkin and a piece of tissue paper. I love this one. This was just a mishmash, obviously, but I love just all of the similar colorings, and it's so fun to be able to grab scraps and actually put them together like this to make something fun with. I just love it. Here's another one. This one you saw me make, and I went back later and added these pink pieces. They're also from this napkin, this same napkin. And you saw I was using kind of bits and pieces. And then when I saw the pink bits, I went ahead and added them on top, and I thought they added a lot to that card. Okay, this one was pieces of deli paper that I had painted on. And I thought that looked really cool. It looks like it just kind of swiped over it with a brush, you know. Okay, this one was tissue papers, and I added this piece after the fact. The flower was from a napkin, so it was laying in a pile. I said, yep, that'll go on my black and white card. Okay, you saw this one, this one. I love the painterly look of this one. This is a napkin that I believe I had used one of the napkin plies from behind a printed napkin. I used one of the white plies, and I had picked up paint from my jelly plate on this, and I love it. Got a piece of that left, which is going to come in handy for something, and I think it'll be fun to use. All right, the next one is like you saw 3 strips of that leafy tissue paper. And here's one with some neutral tones, kind of a vintagey look, but not necessarily vintage, but it kind of could go that direction. I clearly can see that. Here's a couple of tissue papers, and I really love how this one turned out. This one is a piece of scrapbook cardstock, so that's pretty hefty, you know, a little bit sturdier there. And then this was gift wrap. You've seen me use that before. And then this was a piece of napkin. So this is a combination of a whole bunch of things. And then there'll be stuff added on top of it too. So I just love it. It's so much fun, and it's so easy to just glue down these little remaining bits of things I've used in other projects to make some fun Rolodex cards. So I encourage you all to go ahead and use up some of your things. Grab those scrap buckets and even those wrinkly napkins and tissue paper bits. You can use those to make something that's very similar to this just by using the scraps and getting them out of your way and putting them in a usable form. So anyway, have fun with your scraps, and we will see you all again in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.